Hello guys and welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Dylan and I had an idea for a story. Ever since Star Wars Rogue One came out, I had this idea. I've been sitting on it for a very long time. And then Star Wars The Mandalorian came out and that ended up being a great TV show. So I turned my movie idea into a TV series idea. And then I started writing it down for the first time ever. And what I have decided to do is I have decided to publish it, make videos on it, show it to you guys. Now this is definitely not canon by Disney. This is not made by Disney. This is made by me, a fan. It is fan made. And I am not a professional writer. I am not a professional speaker. I will narrate it for you, but feel free to, of course, mute me and read it for yourselves, because some people can read faster than I can speak better than I can, so go ahead and feel free to do that. I cannot put music in these videos because, of course, copyrights, but feel free to turn on some Star Wars music in the background and read my Star Wars story. My fan-made Star Wars story, The Rise. Star Wars The Rise, Chapter 4. They all look around each other in shock. Tope points his blaster closer to Kevin and yells, "Who's driving that thing?" Kevin grabs the blaster and shoves it down. "That's what I want to know." "Well, what do we do now?" Ruby asks Tope. Tope looks at Scarlet and she shrugs. "You fools, look, my ship was just stolen. My ship, which holds your so-called stolen property. If you want your property, you'd have to help me get the ship back," he says as he storms off. "Hey, Kevin, what?" he yells back in anger. "Jarv's on the ship." Kevin stops as he realizes in the wake of the ship being stolen, he forgot all about Jarv. Sitting in the corner of the back room, Jarv is in a praying position, mumbling something when his head hits the wall. As engines fire off, he stands up a little dazed from the pain to his left forehead. He can barely stand as the ship sways back and forth. He gets to the door. "Hey, if we needed to leave quickly, give a guy a warning. Why don't you?" he says as the door swings open. Then, mean-looking Weequay, Trandoshan, and a Rodian in the pilot seat all look at him. The Trandoshan grabs his blaster and points it at Jarv. "I thought you said there was nobody on board, Dank," the driver responds. "Sorry, boss, I saw no one left when they were all standing outside. I thought it was a perfect time to take the ship." "What should we do with him, boss?" the other one yells as he walks closer to Jarv. Jarv, with his hands in the air, yells, "Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm just an artifact identifier. I swear, I don't even know the owner of the ship." "Yeah, we don't need ya. Go ahead." And Jarv stops him. Wait. You need a hostage, right, to keep them back? Why don't you keep me alive? Please. Jarv in his mind thinks, "Kevin, if I survive this, I'm going to hurt you." "It might be useful, boss," says the Weequay pirate. Okay, fine. Just get us to the ship, Rando." "We might have a problem, boss," the Rodian says. What's the problem?" Okay. "We might have a problem, boss," the Rodian says. What's the problem?" "The fuel is half full and the oxygen tanks are almost empty. We can't leave the atmosphere, and our mothership is up there in space. We could put it on the small escape craft and fly it back, but then we'd have to stop this thing, and we're being followed." "Just stop, man. They can't catch up to us, even if they tried. The boss laughed. That's not what the scanners say, the Weequay says, worriedly. What? The boss yells. Just outside of the ship, on jetpacks, flies Lit's cousin and brother, each of them carrying one member of the gang. I see them just ahead, Toph yells. Good, says Cavan, which he's carrying. Just get me close and I'll take it from there. What do you plan to do? Toph asked. You'll see, Cavan says. He jumps onto the moving ship, barely hanging on to one of the bars of the ladder. He climbs down towards the panel. He takes a little screwdriver out of his pocket. He unscrews the panel open. Hopefully Lit forgives me for this, he says to himself. Hell, hopefully I forgive myself for this. He then pulls out a few wires. He flips the screwdriver around to reveal a pair of pliers. He snips 2 wires. As soon as he does, one of the ship's engines fail. The ship still flying with one engine barrel rolled, Cavan barely hangs on. He then gets close to the open panel once again and snaps another wire, shutting off the other engine. The ship barrel rolls out of control. The people inside bang from one side of the ship to the other as it hits and crashes onto the rocky landscape. The ship is left on its left side, half submerged in dirt. The pirates get out. Grab whatever's valuable and let's go, the boss says. He grabs the crate. The Rodian grabs a few other things laying around the ship, including the box holding the Dion powder. The last one grabs Jarv. They walk a few steps to some pods scattered around the landscape. The escape pods are barely able to hold 2, really just one and a few items. The boss puts the crate in the back and flies off. The Rodian flies off within the other. Just as the Weequay sticks Jarv in the pod, Cavan jumps him. In a small tussle, Cavan whispers something in his ear. He then shoots himself in the head. Jarv, you alive, man? Cavan says. Cavan! He first has a smile on his face, then he gets mad. Cavan? What is going on? I thought this job was safe. Yeah, me too. Move over, he says as he jumps in the pod as well. Wait! What? Where are we going? Jarv barely finishes as the third pod flies up into a massive ship. It makes Cavan's ship look like a mouse to a lion. It's a huge pirate ship. As soon as the pod flies into the ship, it opens. Cavan jumps out and attacks the Rodian. He whispers something, and the Rodian points his blaster at the boss. The boss shoots him and pushes the crate forward, jumping and landing on it. He surfs on it as if it was a surfboard flying down the hall. The tunnel is a very dirty, rusty-looking place. Come on, Jarv, Cavan says as he runs after him. Wait for me, he says as he follows. What's going on here, man? What's going on? Cavan explains to Jarv, so it turns out the artifacts wasn't under Hutt rule after all. It's under Mandalorian code. The Hutts just borrowed land there. Mandalorians tried to arrest me for stealing property under their ownership. While this was going on, these pirates showed up and stole the ship. Their target was the artifacts. They just want cash, I'm sure. Either way, if we don't get it back and make a deal with the Mandalorians, we will spend the rest of our lives in jail. If we have lives to live in jail, that is. Oh, that's great, Jarv says out of breath. I told you I had a bad feeling about all of this. Yes, just shut up, textbook, Cavan says, half laughing, half out of breath. They get to the door. Cavan immediately pulls out his screwdriver and starts to work on a nearby panel. Look, Jarv, this is the plan. I'll distract the boss and anyone else that comes up. You grab the case and fly out of here. Without you, he says immediately. I'll be fine. I've been in situations like this. Jarv rolls his eyes as he thinks, of course you have. Got it now? You stay back for a minute, let me go, and first follow me from a distance, okay? And we might pull this off. How many times have you done this, Jarv asked? 3 or 4 times. Jarvis shots. Generally, it's me and Lit, and I have MD3 on standby with Ship. This is a little bit riskier, but it's fine, I promise. Jarv scowls, but goes with it. As planned, Kevin goes first, with Jarv trailing a whole full way away. They go down corridor after corridor. No one in sight. It's obvious they're near the engine room. Kevin then spots someone, another Rodian, a blue one, this time heading up the elevator. Along with him, he then sees the Rodian who stole the ship. He carries a bunch of stuff in his hand from Kevin's ship, and then pulls the crate with the mummy inside of it. Kevin looks around and doesn't see the boss. The elevator closes and the light above the door lights up from floor 3 to 5. Turns out there's 8 floors according to the elevator. It probably goes right up to the cockpit, or top deck, considering how large this ship is. Kevin never, ever has seen a ship this big before. Kevin looks around and sees a staircase, one that looks like it has never been used. Kevin thinks to himself, I have an idea.